I just finished life coaching school in Israel. That was one of my coming out of comfort zones, to go to school in Israel and do it all in Hebrew. I mean, I speak Hebrew fluently, but I grew up in the States, so it's different when you learn in America than when you learn in Israel. Like, their brain is different. The way they explain things is different. Everything is just somehow, it's like, it feels like a lot more shorthand, like when they teach it. By us, like, out there in the diaspora, it's like everything is made very, very clear, and if you, God forbid, have any kind of like misunderstanding, the teacher will spend time with you, and then if you're still unsure and you're stressed out about the material, then you can get an extension. Here it's like, what are you stressed out about? Like, we have a final. Yes, we have a final on the entire year's worth of material, so we just had our final, and thank God, it's amazing to do something that you're so scared to do. It's amazing, and that's what tonight's class is going to be about. A big part of it. So, how many people in the room, can you open your phone? Sorry. How many people in the room read Hebrew? Nice. Okay, so there's a majority of you. So what we're going to do is we're jumping into the real text. We're learning Kabbalah 101 right now. It's important to see it inside, because when we're able to see, when we're able to see the sources inside, when we're able to see the words written out and understand them clearly from the text, then it's a whole different reality than if I'm just sitting here and telling you, believe me, and this is how it works, and this is how life is. Like, I'm not saying anything for myself. We're going right into the meat and potatoes of this course, and God willing, after today's class, you're going to see how things are coming together. Things are coming together. We're building this from the ground up, and things are going to come together as we move along. So I just want to go into, for a second, just to recap last class. Last class, we spoke about how, anyone want to say what we spoke about? Anyone get a chance to read over the notes? Okay. Anything? Any kind of thing come to mind? Oh, yes. Speak loudly, I don't hear you.
We have five steps. When we look at something, we look at it as an umbrella. So step one is to understand it's a mirror reflection of what I am transmitting to the world. Step two is saying that it's only for me to learn from it. And step three was, I think, stop and take a step back. Thank Hashem that sending it to us.
Nice. So, what the premise of all of that was basically that a person that has, that understands that they are their nefesh, and that their body is, is kind of like the vehicle, it's the vehicle that comes after. So all that really matters, and all that's really important to us, is that our nefesh is good, is that our nefesh is solid, is that our nefesh is not hurting, it's not wounded, it's not in a state of being a broken nefesh. Right? People that are broken people, we've all experienced that. We've all seen that. We've seen more or less. We've seen it on the spectrum. People that are really, really wounded, and people that are wounded but not as wounded, and then you see the people that are healthy. So the people that, know how to speak to people, know how to make people feel nice, know how to treat themselves, know how to go out into this world and not take offense by every little thing that happens, or, pull it into their hearts, or just allow whatever is going around them to affect them and hurt them. There are people that, from the whole spectrum. And in essence, what we're learning in this course is that our nefesh is us. It is you. It is your engine. It is everything about you. It's how you're going to go out into this world and either make money, get into a relationship, get married, have a thriving life, or not. It is the quality of your life. Is the quality of your nefesh, okay? Because it is the engine. So, since it's the engine, since it's everything, and I understand that my body follows suit, because last week we were talking about this concept of, and we brought it up also in Breakthrough 1, and then we spoke about it also in the first class here, that this concept is really, really important, that the way it works is gavoa me'ad gavoa shomer, which is higher energy field will always be in the lead, in the driver's seat. The lower energy field will always follow. The higher energy field is our nefesh. It is the personality. It is the aspirations. It is the dreams. It is the wants. It is what makes me happy or what makes me sad. It is everything that's inside of me. That is the highest energy field. My body this vehicle that I am, it always follows the nefesh. It always follows where the nefesh is. Always. Think about yourself getting into an argument with someone. Think about yourself working in a place that you hate. Think about yourself being in a position where you're people-pleasing and you really don't want to be there, but you do it anyway. Think about yourself in a position where you're being triggered by family or friends or whatever it is. Think about how you feel in your body. How stiff does your neck feel? What happens to your stomach? What happens to your digestion? Where does your energy go? Do you just all of a sudden get tired and want to go to bed? After you get into a fight with someone, how do you feel? How do you feel? You don't feel good. You don't feel good. Physically, pay attention to it next time. You might be on this whole thing, right? Of I'm right, they're wrong, and all this whole thing, but physically you don't feel good. Why? Because the nefesh is losing it. The nefesh is going crazy, and when the nefesh goes crazy, the body takes a beating. That's the equation. So when people are just all focused on just being zen and eating just and I'm all about this, by the way. I'm not making fun of this at all. I'm all about this. But because I'm all about this, I understand it from a real perspective. It can't just be, let me be vegan and everything will be good. I'll be healthy to 120. No, there have been people that never smoked a cigarette in their life, never drank a drink in their life, were always clean eaters, ran every single day, were on top of their health, and had a heart attack at 50. Why? Because they're sad, because they're lonely, because they don't know how to get along with the world, because they isolate themselves. So it's just a matter of time before the body expires when this nefesh is just dying. And what we're going to learn tonight is that we're going to see it inside the text and we're going to see it inside the sources, how, wow, oh my goodness, that in essence, it's all about the language of my soul. So if the language of my soul, if I learn this language, if I learn this spiritual language and I get it, I can look, feel, experience health on a whole different level. And it's not just health oh, I'm healthy, my blood and my cholesterol, not just that. Health, when you're in a good space, how creative are you? When you're in a good space, how nice are you? When you're in a good space, how much energy do you have? When you're in a good space, how much more do you bring yourself to the table? As when you're not in a good space. That's what we're talking about, meaning it affects every single aspect of your life. Everything. There's no people that put themselves in positions where they're not happy because their brain tells them, their mind tells them, you really should do this. And everything about them is no, I don't want to do it, I don't want to work there anymore. I don't want to be there. I want you, if you would love to, if you would be okay with it, I would love for you to share a little bit.
I quit actually the next day.
Yes! Woohoo! Good job. How do you feel?
Well, I'm still there, which is horrible, but when I'm not in the office, I'm
Okay, can you share a drop?
Yeah.
But speak loudly.
I was working with a lawyer in a firm for 3 years, and I literally came last week, and I've been thinking about it for weeks and weeks and weeks. And I told her, I need to do this. I can't, I'm waking up. I had physio 3 hours in 1 week. I could not move my neck. I was waking up. And I'm telling you, before I even did it, because I decided that night that I was going to do it the next morning, I woke up and I was like, oh my God, what is going on? And I just had to rip off the band.
How long was your neck hurting?
About 2 weeks. And no amount of physio does anything. It was stiff. I could not move.
And you made a decision and then?
Made the decision, I woke up and it was nothing ever happened.
Nice. You see? Told you so. And this is just one example of millions of people. There have been so many studies on this. I don't have any studies to bring for you right now. The only study I have for you right now is Kabbalah, okay? Which I think we're all happy about. The inner compass, that's us, that's me, the me, okay? There's no other you on this planet. Never was, never will be. You're the only person walking this planet ever in your form, in your build, and the way the composition of every single part of you. There's no one that's ever going to be like you ever. You are so unique. You are the definition of unique. So no one can tell you what's right for you. No one can tell you what's good for you, really, besides for the Creator. Because He's the one that created us. He's the one that knows how we took. He knows us better than we know ourselves. And He tells us, listen, if you learn the language of your nefesh, you got this. You're going to have an amazing experience on this world, in this lifetime. If you don't learn the language of your nefesh and you're going to follow what other people tell you, like those motivational videos on YouTube, which I used to be such a junkie. I used to oh my God. I used to send it to all my friends, and eventually they all unfriended me, and I was like, what? This sets me on fire. And everyone was like, okay, Deborah, no. Later, I understood a little why. But basically, these motivational videos that tell you, you're nothing if you don't wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and go out and go for a run and do this and do that, and then you have a full day work, and then you put in another 8 hours a night and go to sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning, and that's the only way to be an entrepreneur. Okay? There's so many voices, there's so much noise, and people are just looking to get it right. We're all looking to get this life right, and we all feel it. We all feel like, time is ticking, and we want to move, and we want to progress. That's our natural instinct. That's how we came into it. We're not animals that I could just be Betsy the cow and sit under the sun and chew on some hay all day, and I'm good. Betsy has no need to create. She has no need to start a startup or to upgrade her car or her kitchen. She has no need for anything new and different. She's chill, just as she is. For all the years that she's going to live, she's happy exactly the way she is, day in, day out, without this insane engine, fire inside that wants her to do something, create something. The reason that we're always wanting to do something, okay, so I finished school, so now I want to do this, and after I do this, I want to do this. Okay, so I've accomplished this and this and this and this. Now I want to accomplish this and this and this and this. Or if I don't know what I want to accomplish, then I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I want to accomplish? I don't have any goals. What's wrong with me? Where am I going? What am I doing? I'm lost. And then we get right? Why? Because we have something that's called Chelek Elokam Imal, which is literally, we have a piece of the Creator inside of us, which is the nefesh. And since we have a piece of the Creator inside of us, we need to create. And if we're not creating, we feel like we can't live. People that are not connected to themselves and living from themselves and creating what they were meant to create with their lifetime get depressed, and that leads to mental illness. Understand that? And it's all connected to the nefesh. What's mental illness? Nefesh. The nefesh is out of whack. The nefesh is out of whack. I've had people that took Breakthrough 2 that understood the language of the nefesh, and after they understood the language of the nefesh fully, and that's why I keep telling you, read over the notes, listen to the classes, read over the notes, listen to the classes, because it's like you have to, it's new material. We don't learn this in elementary school and high school. We don't know this stuff. This stuff is like the secrets of life. It is this, it's what makes everything go. What makes everything work. It works. So what was I going to tell you before? I had this. I was going to say something before. Okay. No, I'm
Next, the word dick.
What's that?
You said that זה גורם the language of the nefesh.
Right.
Mental illness.
Mental illness. Oh yeah. Thank you. So I had a few students that have learned Breakthrough 2. We did a tour in America, and we did a few sessions here in Israel in different places. And the women, it's the women that have gotten back to me, that have told me that they actually they actually work the steps of an Abdullah. Told me that they stopped taking their antidepressants. Stopped completely, and they've been on it for 20 years. Stopped taking their antidepressants, and someone even told me, I can even show you the screenshot. She didn't even tell me. She told somebody else on Facebook, and she tagged me, and I went into it and I saw it, and she said she had fibromyalgia for 15 years, and after doing this work, it's over. She doesn't have it anymore. Fibromyalgia. What's fibromyalgia? Fibromyalgia is another way of saying
Your immune system is
Low energy.
your immune system is depressing your body.
Fibromyalgia is nerve pain. It's where your nerves become inflamed and there's constant nerve pain.
That's how it manifests, and that manifests in nerve pain. But in essence, where is it coming from? What's deeper? Deeper is gavoa mal gavoa shomel. Deeper is that the nefesh is so wounded. There's an open wound there, and the salt just keeps going on that open wound, and it's affecting the pain in the body. Pain comes out in the body because the nefesh is hurting. So she learned how to heal her nefesh, and her pain went away. But it's not a miracle. It's given to us 3,000 years ago. You know? It's the formula's here. So that's what's so amazing about this. Can you unlock it for me again? Okay. So here we go. So today, we're going to start figuring out, okay, you can start looking at the notes that I sent to the WhatsApp group. We're going to figure out together what the deal is. Meaning, okay, so now I'm clear after these past 2 classes. I'm clear. I'm clear that it's one and the same. I'm clear that it's not that if my stomach is hurting, okay, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's just indigestion. It can also be something else, okay? It can also come from somewhere else. Now, it's almost like, that phone call that someone gets in the middle of his dinner. He's eating his dinner, everything is cool, he's fine. He gets a phone call. He gets, God forbid, some bad news. In the moment, what happens to his digestion is that it literally shuts down because of the stress, because of the adrenaline, because of the hormones. So what happens to his digestive system, a woman's reproductive system, what happens to the main systems in the body is that they slow down to the point of almost shutting down because of the elevated adrenaline in the body. Okay, because it's a fight or flight mode. Because that's how the body's experiencing it. Bad news, all of a sudden, the body's experiencing it as like a fear. The adrenaline starts pumping, and the system starts to shut down in the body.
Isn't it true that women can miss periods because of stress?
So they could what?
Miss periods because of stress.
100%, definitely. So I need someone's phone that doesn't lock me out every 5 minutes. It's fine. We can still have a relationship. Keep locking me out of your life.
He's sent me everything I missed.
What? The sheets?
Like the notes, yeah.
Yeah.
I just didn't.
Sure. No problem. Of course. Pleasure. But are you on the group now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just send it again.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you.
Is there anyone else not in the group?
All right.
Yeah, just turn it off now.
It's okay. Now I'm going to touch it. I'm going to keep touching it.
I changed something. I don't know if that works. So that it would stop.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Just point it at my face.
Okay. So here we go. So tonight what we're getting really, really clear on together is understanding that since the nefesh is the central nervous system of everything, since it is the one that's in the driver's seat, since it is the engine of this car, so now taking really, really great care of it is something that we have to learn how to. Just like you have to learn how to take care of a kid, and you have to learn how to take care of your car, and you have to learn which kind of gasoline to use. You got to learn how to. Okay, we're not naturally born knowing how to. Actually, it's the opposite. We're born knowing how to not. Okay, we're born into this world where if you drive down the street, I was just driving here, and I was looking out the window. And I was thinking, it's amazing that we live in a world where, these motivational videos on YouTube, right, that are just that they try to create robots out of people and tell people that they can only succeed if they push themselves to a limit that it's not even healthy in any way. And then you look at what people are eating, and then you look at how people are living, and then you look at how people are engaging, and then you look at how people are, the way the world is expecting or wants or, it kind of set up. It's set up for people to get sick. It's set up for people to have mental illness. It's set up for people to get depressed. It's set up that way. Fast and furious, and go, and don't stop, and eat whatever, and fast food, and instant gratifications, and pleasures, and that's how it is. and upgrades and upgrades and upgrades. And that's the world, that's the scene that we're on, that's the scene that we're in. So if we don't grab hold of the steering wheel quickly, and if we are not realizing that, one second, let me, everyone, you guys can keep running. Let me just sit out for a minute and let me think about this again. Let me reevaluate really what's happening, because I'm in this rat race and it's not working for me. I'm not loving my life. I'm not jumping out of bed every single morning feeling like I'm really like alive and doing wow. I don't feel the benefits that everyone's trying to sell me on. So everyone's trying to sell me on, Kim Kardashian and McDonald's at the same time. So which one is it? Which one is it? This is the way to eat, this is the way to look. How? How does that work? And we're constantly being given such opposite messages from all over the place, and people are really losing themselves. People are losing their own voice. People don't hear themselves anymore. Smart people, educated people, spiritual people. And I'm not talking about just let's just not even talk about the young people and the people that are just so easily impressionable, and that they're growing up in this position where this is what they're understanding life to be. This is what is beautiful. This is what is sexy. This is what's successful. This is what's considered. Who said? Who said? So at this point in the game, it's really, really crucial to delve into to brilliance, really. Not into someone that's making a lot of money, that's living in the hills of Hollywood, because they're selling people on a belief system. But someone that's not getting anything out of it and is just giving us the facts. And when you put them into action, you see that they work. How many people in the room here meditate? Okay, the rest of you should be ashamed of yourself. Okay. We're going to start. You ready? Cool. We did already start. So we're going to go straight into the top of the... Try to follow along if you can. Okay, we were starting with Gavoa Mal Gavoa Shomel. It's again what we were talking about. The higher energy field always controls the lower energy field. Okay, imagine this. Imagine you have two people. One person is self-loving, confident, is self-assured, is calm, is connected. And then you have another person that self-esteem is in the ground, is full of worry, full of stress, full of fear, full of self-doubt. Okay, you have these two people. Just for the sake of example, just imagine this, okay? The person with the more confidence, the person with more self-love, the person that practices that kind of life, okay, will, next to the person that has very little self-esteem and very little self-worth and doesn't believe in themselves and is always thinking how they're making mistakes wherever they're going, and oh my God, I shouldn't have said that, or why did I say that, or I'm such an idiot, or, right, will be much more, because of their energy, will be much more effective than the person with a lower self-esteem, with a lower self-worth. Even if the guy with the low self-esteem and the low self-worth is like bigger and more masculine and just like stronger, and the guy with the self-worth is skinny and scrawny, the guy that's skinny and scrawny is still going to give off much more of a presence. He's going to be a lot more effective. You're going to feel him in the room way more than the other guy. Because it doesn't matter how much space you take up. It matters how much space inside is healed, is well, is healthy. And because of the emphasis on externalities today, so if you have long blonde hair and if you're a size 2, then you're beautiful. And if you're driving a Lamborghini and you have a certain amount of money in your account and you have a beautiful girl next to you, then you're successful. Then you're the man. And it's completely backwards. Because in essence, you can really, really only feel on top of your life, on top of your game, really to the max, when inside you're healed, you're healthy, you're well. So that's what we're going to be doing now. And your phone left me out again. Maybe I should have filmed with your phone and done it with my phone. It's all right. Okay.
Does no one know how to change that now?
All right, here we go. Gavoa Mal Gavoa Shomel. Rule in life, the higher energetic fields rules the lower. We're right on top of the third page I sent. Okay, מתוך ספר הליקוטים. It's from ספר הליקוטים, written by Rav Moshe David Vali. Here we go. He says, עיקר מצבו של אדם, מרוחו העומד בלב. He says the main matzav, the main condition of a person is what's happening in his heart, the ruach in his heart, the feeling in his heart. שמועה טובה תתשן עצם, וכן להפך שמועה רעה תייבש גרם. Basically, he's saying like this. He says that bad news, when a person hears bad news, what happens to them is that it dries them up. It dries them up like a dried up bone. Okay, and he's giving like a poetic understanding of what this means. And he says that when a person hears good news, when a person hears good, where's the shmuah tova titchen etzem, shmuah ra'ah tiyabesh gerem. So a person hears good news, it brings and enlivens him. Okay, so what does this mean, good news or bad news? Meaning, when a person is in a position where he's hurting, worried, fearful, anxious, tired, when a person is in that position and he keeps going, what happens to his nefesh in that moment? Okay, now we're literally learning right now the ABCs of our nefesh language. Okay, so listen up. You're all such good students. You're all listening so nicely. Good for you. Y'all get ice cream on the house, right, Rabbi? Yes. So when you hear good something, when something you hear, you got that job, right? She said yes. You I don't know, you made a lot of money, or give me examples that make you feel good in the moment.
Holidays.
You won a free holiday, okay? Or you're going somewhere, right? So that what happens there is that literally you feel like we say our heart's exploding. Why do we say our heart's exploding? With joy, our heart's exploding with joy. What does that do? Really what's happening is in the nefesh, the chakra of the heart, in the nefesh, is exploding with joy. What happens to the nefesh when you hear a good piece of news, when something good comes your way, what happens to you is that you feel like it opened you up. You feel you expanded. Okay? Now what a worry is an energy. Fear is an energy. Okay? Anxiety is an energy. Loneliness is an energy, even though it's a state of being, but it's an energy, being lonely. Okay? Because you can be alone and not be lonely. Okay? It's a choice. It's a choice. Your mind is going somewhere and then you're translating it as I'm lonely. And the reason that you're feeling lonely is because we were talking about in the first class about our living rooms. Right? A person is made to be in this world connected to people, but also made to know how to be alone, because we come into this world alone and we leave this world alone. And all the people on the train along with us, they're passengers. We're all passengers on this train of life. But everyone at a certain point gets off, wherever they get off, at their stop. And the idea is to know how to be with self and know how to be with others. If you know how to be with self, you know how to be with others. If you can't stand being with yourself, then even while you're with others, you're not really with others. Perhaps you're people-pleasing. Perhaps you feel alone with other people. So it always is going to boil down to this idea of nefesh, 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 nefesh. So again, when you have a shmuah tova, when things are positive around you, your heart's exploding, your nefesh is opening up, and you feel good. And when you hear a shmuah ra'ah, God forbid, when bad news comes your way, what happens to that? It says, he goes into it and he explains that a nefesh mitkametet. Literally, the energy of the nefesh gets sucked in. Why do we feel like going under our covers when we're depressed? Why do we even get depressed? Because it's almost like our life force is being sucked out of us. We're entertaining negative thoughts in our minds. We're entertaining things like, I don't know where I'm going to get my money from. I don't know what job I'm going to get. I don't know if I'm ever going to get married or if I'm ever going to find someone that suits me. I don't know if I'm ever going to get my life together. My health is in the gutter. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I have no goals. The more I am there in the worry, in the fear, the more I choose to nurse from those kinds of negative feelings and emotions. But it's true, Devorah. But it's right. I don't know where I'm getting my money, and I don't know how I'm going to pay my rent, and I don't know if I'm always going to be alone, if I'm going to find someone, if I'm not going to find someone. Most likely, according to my track record, it's not happening. So I'm living off of, up until now, what I've had up until now, what I've seen up until now. Up until now, it hasn't been great. It's not working. I suck at this and this and this and this. So therefore, these things are really big problems for me in my life because I'm not good at these things. I'm not good with people. I'm not good with sticking to one job. I'm not good at making money. I'm not good with whatever it is that I'm not good with. Therefore, it's going to impact the rest of my life, and how am I going to deal with that for the rest of my life? So right now, in the moment, what happens to me? I get paralyzed. In the moment, I get sad. In the moment, I fall apart. In the moment, I feel like crud. In the moment, I want to just do something either self-destructive or just put it away, or just go to sleep, or take something, or distract myself. In the moment. And this, what we're learning right now, is, buddy, you have every single ounce of say about how you are going to feel. And how you feel is what you're going to see, what you're going to make happen in your life. As long as you are happy, and when I say happy, I don't mean that. I mean as long as you know how to play this game in your nefesh. As long as you know how to play your cards right. As long as you know how to not go there and wallow and go into that misery comfort zone, because it is a comfort zone, but it's miserable. Okay, there's something very sweet about the misery. Very sweet. Sometimes when we get depressed, we get sad, it's almost like it sucks us in, because something like, almost like good about it feeling. Almost like, just let me be there. Let me just be depressed. Let me just be sad. Let me just be bummed out. Let me be angry, because I have every right to be. Let me be there. Because those energies, those dark energies, are real. They're real. They are real. You can cut them with a knife. They are so real. So when I know how to play my cards right, and I know that, oh, I don't know where my money's coming from. I don't know if I'm ever going to get, find my partner in life. I don't know if I'm ever going to be successful. I don't know if I'm ever going to get my health on track. I don't know if I'm ever going to really know what I'm doing with my life. And I end it off by saying, and I love it. And I love it. I don't know if I'm ever going to get married. And I love it. I don't know if I'm ever going to, stick it out anywhere or with anyone ever. And I love it. What am I loving?
You make peace with your condition now, and you give yourself the freedom to be something else.
Good. Amazing. Yes. What am I loving? I'm loving the fact that I don't know. I don't know. You don't know. You can't know. You're on. We're here. We're on this part. We're on this page in our book. We have another many, God willing, pages in this book. So duh, you don't know. How you gonna know? Are you a psychic? How you gonna know? I don't know if I'm ever gonna be able to get my life together. And I love it. I love that I don't know. I love that this life is so full of surprises. Am I gonna continue working off of past experiences? Oh, for the past 25 years, I really didn't know how to, whatever, tie my shoelaces. So since for 25 years I don't know how to tie my shoelaces, then I don't know if I'm ever going to know how to tie my shoelaces. And that makes me so sad. And that makes me so angry. And that makes me so worried. And that really, really, really is fearful for me. Because am I always going to walk around falling flat on my face? Because that's what I'm experiencing till now. Just because for the past 25 years you haven't figured out how to tie your shoelaces doesn't mean that it's not going to happen now or tomorrow. And what's important is to realize that A, we're not psychic. So when you say, I don't know what's going to happen, I don't know, and you get all worried and you get all wound up and you get all fearful and you get all into that mode and you get all there and you drag yourself through the mud, okay? When you do that to yourself, you have to know, first of all, I'm not psychic. So even if I sit here and now worry and just scare myself silly, it's not going to help me. It's not going to make a dent. It's not going to make a difference. All it's going to do, and this is what we're learning, all it's going to do is harm my nefesh to the point where I can wound my nefesh. And when my nefesh gets wounded, God forbid, when I have an open wound, and a lot of us are walking around with open wounds in our nefesh. If I have an open wound in my nefesh, you know what happens then? It's not about the shoelaces anymore. It's not about the money anymore. It's not about the girl or the guy or where I'm going in my life anymore. All of a sudden, I walk outside and I just can't look at people in the eye. What happened to me? All of a sudden, I go outside and I get anxious and I just want to run back home and go under the covers or just stay home where no one can see me. All of a sudden, I'm awkward. I'm insecure. I'm second guessing what I know I'm good at. All of a sudden, it manifests in other areas of my life. Because wounds don't ask you, where do you want to manifest? They just come out. So knowing how to play our cards right means we are human beings, okay? We're human beings. So we're going to go into these places. Fear is going to come into your life. Worry is going to come into your life. It's going to come to our life. It comes knocking on our door. And sometimes we answer it. Sometimes people answer it every single day. Sometimes people answer it every single hour. Sometimes people don't even know that there's a door to close. That they have a choice to say, no, not today. Oh, you don't have money in your account? And you don't have... Okay. I don't have the wisdom, the ability, the foresight to understand what's going to be in my future. So many things worked out for me today that when I was 18 and when I was 16, I didn't think that I was going to be able to see or have or experience or do. I didn't know that was going to be on my journey, in my life, on my path. And it was. So in essence, the worry and the fear in the moment, all that does is injures us. Injures us spiritually and creates pain and illness physically. And not just that, but it sabotages relationships and future stuff. So it's really, really important that when pain comes knocking at your door and when worry comes knocking at your door, you can entertain it. I'm not telling you, be fake. I'm not telling you, no, I'm fine, look, I'm fine, don't touch me pain, don't touch me illness, don't touch me whatever, worry, don't touch me. No. You're scared, you're worried, you're fearful, feel it. Feel it. Know how to feel it. You have to know how to feel these things. That's the thing. People don't really know how to feel them. They let them, they come in, they grab us and they shake us and people go crazy. Right? Scared and crying and nervous and then shooting themselves in the foot in whatever way they do that. You have to know how to feel these things. Okay, that's a whole other class on meditation that maybe we'll do one time. Maybe on Shabbat we'll do that. We'll do a circle meditation together. Okay, that would be amazing. Yeah, sure.
I think that the important thing from my experience about fear and worry is to know that every coin has two sides. And if you just remember this small detail, you would know that the other side of the fear, if you really want to see it, there is another opportunity. You just need to know that it exists, even though you don't see it right now.
For sure. Yes.
And the other side of worry, there is hope. So.
For sure. You know what happens? But what happens in the moment is that it grabs us.
Yeah.
In
this moment, if you actually remember it, you can transcend the feeling of worry, because you can recall that you experienced before and you succeeded.
Yeah.
You've gone over the obstacle. So.
Yeah. Thank you. Love it. Yeah. Exactly. There's so many tactics. There's so many techniques. Okay, and that's why I brought this, because I wanna, just shut out the noise, because there's so many, 10 simple ways to, not fall into life-altering depression, or, there's all these articles and all these blogs and all these techniques and all these tools and all these videos and all this stuff and all this noise, and I go with it. I go with the most ancient texts that exists on planet Earth, right, given by God. And written so clearly about how to manage it and how to use it and how to do it. Okay. So number one, what we were just saying before, feel it, but know how to put a cork on it. Like know how to say, that's it. Zeu, die. I'm done. Meaning I worried. Next. Now I'm putting it out of my head because you know what? I don't know. So if I'm going to continue worrying, then I'm going to continue shooting myself in the foot. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, you know what? Something amazing is going to happen. How am I going to know? Who am I to know? Something amazing is going to happen. I trust that I'm going to have $1 million, God willing, by the end of this year. Why not? Why not say that? We know that our words are powerful. We know that our thoughts are powerful. We know that when we think the opposite, when we think bad things about ourselves and we think awful things about ourselves, how we then go out into the world and how we interact and how we come across and how we feel. Oh my gosh, how do we feel? We feel awful. So the proof is in the pudding. We don't need much more than that. The proof is there. Okay? The feelings are awful. The manifestations are awful. The interactions are awful. These energies don't work in our favor. They don't. So what does? So let's go. Let's continue. We're only going to read. Okay, you know what? He says like this. He says, אכילה טובה או אכילה רעה, כי ממנה האדם שמן או רזה. He says, it should say that when a person eats well or eats not well, that's how a person is fat or thin. Okay? אלא, we're on the second sentence in the first paragraph, אלא ודאי האמת הוא שאין בריאותיו של האדם ומשמן בשרו תלויים באכילתו ושיטתו. He says that שאין בריאותיו, that his health, a person's health, is not dependent on what he eats and what he drinks. Oh my gosh. Listen to this. Okay, this is the tip of the iceberg. Listen to this. Okay, when I first read this, and I'm like all about vitamins and juicing and ginger and all that nice fun stuff, and apple cider vinegar with the mother, with it. All right, and I'm all about. I have a program called Breakthrough Body that was basically born out of this course, which is a 14-day detox that we do for the body and the mind. And and so he says over here that the person's health is not dependent on what he eats or drinks. So what does that mean? שהרי מי שרוחו נכאה ונפשו עגומה, the person's nefesh that is נכאה, which is handicap, okay? אפילו יאכל כל המעדנים והמשמנים שבעולם, לא ירוויח כלום. Even if he eats the most healthiest and vegan and organic and grown in a certain place on this world, and he gets his water from underground wells, and it's triple osmosis and all of that, right? It won't benefit him at all, he says. ויהיה תמיד דל וכחוש, and he's always going to be down. He's always going to be this person. He says, והטעם הוא, לפי, now we're in the bold part, לפי שהכל תלוי ברוח העומד בלב, because every single thing, he says, all of a person's health is dependent on הרוח שבלב, how the heart is doing. Now when I say heart, and when I point here, what I'm talking about is the heart chakra in the nefesh. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about the physical organ. We're talking about the heart chakra in the nefesh. So what does that mean? When the person's nefesh, when the heart is in the nefesh, is doing well, that a person is doing well. Okay, now we're not going to leave it in these philosophical terms, like, okay, so just be happy and everything will be good, and then go and, pound McDonald's and you'll be good. No, that's not, this is no. Okay, don't leave yet. Just don't leave yet. No one sign off yet. Okay? It says in Kabbalah, that you can eat whatever you want and you'll just be happy. שאם יקבל את אורדותיו ברווח ובריבוי, if he receives his light, listen to this, if he receives his light with plenty light, או יבריא הגוף, אז יבריא הגוף וישמח ויחזק ואפילו מרגע לרגע. That his body heals and he's going to be happy from moment to moment. What does this mean? Okay, so this screen is so beautiful and sweet, and thank you so much for locking me out the whole time, but I'm not going to keep reading it because I don't have the eyes because it's so small. So I'm just gonna look down every few seconds just to make sure we didn't miss anything, and I'm just going to translate. Okay, but it's good for that you have these notes here so you can practice your Hebrew. Anyway, so he says like this. He says that the heart is the main zone. It's the main zone. Now, what does it mean when a person's heartbroken? What does it mean when a person's heartbroken? What does it mean when a person's heartbroken? I'm asking you. Go deeper. Yes.
Well, I'll speak from experience.
Yeah.
I was suffering on such a deep level. There was nothing happening outside of me that, like, I couldn't even recognize the goodness. I was so locked in pain. And I think I carried it for years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what happened?
Like, the most traumatic breakup of my life ever. And I mean, I don't know why it hurt so bad, but I really, like, I kept it with me for a long time.
How did you get out of it? Time?
No, time doesn't, you really need to, you have to do something because time doesn't heal this one. I don't know, they say it does, but it took 2 years for me to feel like a little bit better. I mean,
Wow.
to be honest, I was doing a lot of energy work and like trying to bring more awareness to what was going on. But for 2 years, I was absolutely suffering. Even, I wanted to share, like, when you're in that place, you can't even notice the good things in front of you, and you don't even recognize that it's like you that's not receiving them. Like, they're there, they've been there, you're just like stuck in whatever time it was that you're totally shattered until you heal it.
Nice. Thank you for sharing. What's your name?
Peyton?
Hi. Welcome. This is your first time here?
I brought yeah, Ilana brought me.
You brought her also? Can you work for me? You know you have a job. I got you fired. That's great. I had this whole thing planned out. Okay. He says, what's the thing with the heartbreak? What's the thing with the heartbreak? So the heart is everything. Okay, the heart is the heart zone in our heart. Now, here's the formula. The formula is like this. If I figure out how to keep my heart, for lack of a better word, satiated, okay? If I figure out how to keep my heart satiated, but for real satiated, not the fake satiation, not the like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour a night thing. No, the real deal. If I figure out how to keep my heart satiated and how to avoid it from getting hurt, from getting hit. You understand? When I say hit, it's almost like the triggers. Okay, the triggers that we were talking about last class. The trigger. What happens after a while? If I just had a plastic knife, a plastic one, not a sharp one, just a plastic one, and I would just take it and I would just lightly go back and forth here on my hand for a month straight. What would I do to myself? What? I would have cut through my hand. I would injure myself. Okay, that's the trigger. The trigger is when you're in a position, when you're being triggered by the people around you or whatever the position is, you have to know that in that place of being triggered, you cannot grow. You can't grow. Okay? I'm going to go back, I'm going to live with my parents, or I'm going to be in a position where people that are hurting me or making me feel small or always calling me out or criticizing me, but it's true. They're saying, whatever they're saying is true. It's true. I am a loser. It is true. Okay? I am 45 and not married yet. It's true. They're saying the truth. But as long as I put myself in an environment that is toxic, as long as I put myself in an environment that makes me feel small, that makes me feel unhappy, I cannot grow in that environment. It's not happening. Okay? It's not happening. You have to learn how to remove yourself, how to put yourself and surround yourself by things and people that make you connect to yourself, that make you love yourself, that make you see the good parts of yourself. And now you really can't depend on people to do that for you. But let's say listening to certain things, going to certain classes, being in an environment of people that are kind and that are nice, okay? And they're not constantly calling you out, even if they're not your best friends. Okay? In that place, you can start doing the work of En Abdullah. You can start doing the work of healing your nefesh. But you can't do the work of healing your nefesh when your nefesh is constantly being opened again. The wound is constantly being opened again and opened again and opened again. You can't. It's not possible. It's not. He talks about it clearly in this essay here. So he says like this. The heart, it needs to be protected. You have to protect your heart. Protect your heart, because once your heart is in a position where it's good, where it's satiated, where it's satisfied. What do I mean when I say satisfied? For example, you are sitting in front of the computer working, and this happens to me all the time, and I have to work, I have to get this newsletter out, and I have to get this talk out, and I have to write up this this class, or I have to do whatever. And I've been working, let's say, for 6 hours, or 5 hours, or 4 hours, or whatever it is. And I literally I'm starting to feel like what happens to me is that I start crying while I'm working. I just start crying. I don't even realize it. I'm fine. I'm like taking notes, and I'm like, I'm there, I'm fine. All of a sudden, I just start crying. And I realize that I'm so unhappy in this moment right now. Because all I want to do, and this took me years to figure out what's wrong with me. Till then, I was just like, what is wrong with me? Like, I'll just get a tissue and continue. Okay? Until I figured out what's going on. What's going on is in that moment, I need to do something else. I need to listen to myself. I need to do something else. I need to go outside for a walk. I need to call a friend and have a conversation with someone. I need to not be home alone in front of the computer for so many hours. I need to go to take a nap. I need to eat. I need to do something, and I'm not listening. Because I need to work. I need to make money. I need to work. I need to make money. Oh my God, how am I going to make money? I need to work. I need to make money. Okay? Because that's the dominating voice there. And then all this other stuff that's going on, I'm not listening to. And then I wonder why I get up and I don't feel good, and I'm snapping at my kids, and I'm angry, and I'm tired, and I'm feeling sad. Right? So in the moment, you have to learn how to listen. Okay, so you have to learn how to listen to your heart. That's step number 2. Number 1 is protect your heart. Protect your heart means if you're in a toxic environment, you got to know that in the toxic environment, you cannot grow. You cannot heal. You cannot heal the wounds of the nefesh. The nefesh stays wounded as long as it's being wounded. Okay, as long as it's being wounded. Now, what we're learning in An Abdallah is you have to know that really there's no one that's coming into your life that's hurting you without you first being the first person to hurt you in that area. Meaning, you kicked yourself where it hurt, and that allowed all the other people that are now you're blaming for hurting you to continue kicking you exactly where it hurts. Okay, that's the message of An Abdallah. We're going to get to that in class 6. We're going to get to into the understanding of what really mirrors what mirrors are really, and how to be able to cut out these people that are hurting us in our life without even needing to talk to them, without even needing, and not even cut out. When I mean cut out, meaning I mean cut out the pain. It could be that your mother, your father, your people that you don't want to cut them out of your life, but you want to have a normal and healthy relationship with them, and you can't figure out how. You can't figure out how because whenever you're in a room with them or whatever, you feel judged, you feel small, you feel insignificant, you feel like they don't see you. They feel like you feel like they're relating to you like they used to when you were 5, and you're not 5 anymore. And it makes you uncomfortable. Okay, so we're going to learn how all that has to do with internal language, but that's all going to build on these classes. And so that, number 1 is to protect your heart. Number 2, okay? Number 2 is understand that when your heart takes a beating, then that is going to bring up something inside of you. You're going to have a feeling. You're going to have a need for something. And a lot of us don't understand our needs, so we go to other people, we go to drugs, we go to alcohol, we go to food, we go to addictions, we go to Netflix, we go to stuff, okay, to make us not feel. But the feelings are good. The feelings that are coming up for you, that all of a sudden you're crying, or all of a sudden you're angry, or all of a sudden, those are good. Wait, hold on to them. Those are signals. That's your nefesh talking to you. Your nefesh communicating with you. Listen. She's talking to you. Listen to her. So you say, yes, what do you need? I feel like jumping out of my skin. I just need a drink. I feel like jumping out of my skin. I just need to smoke something. I feel like jumping out of my skin. I just need to go somewhere. I just need to get... So in that moment, when you feel like you are jumping out of your skin, like you're not happy, you have to what?
Talk to yourself.
Talk to yourself? What do you mean?
Talk to the place that hurts inside of you, to the wound. That's the answer.
Okay, so I'm going to teach you something beautiful right now, which is along the lines of, what's your name? Giovanni. I'm going to teach you something that is beautiful right now that I learned last week and that I've been doing ever since, and it's like, ready? In the moment of feeling, in the moment when the emotions come up, the pain, the worry, the sadness, the anxiety, all those things come up, the anger, okay, they come up, okay? So wait, before you go take a drag, hang on, okay? And, because this is a magical moment, it's a powerful moment, Okay, this is where you get to heal. This is where you get to heal the wounds. And when the wounds are healed, guess what? She's not a trigger anymore. And he's not a threat anymore. And then guess what? You come out into the world and you're more positive and you're nicer and you're more creative and you're more on top of your game and you're more patient. So what you do in the moment is you close your eyes and you take a deep breath. And you do this. You make believe you're sitting in an audience by yourself. Imagine, I don't know, an audience somewhere. You're sitting in the chairs. And then you're sitting there. Just envision this in your head, okay? Use your imagination. You're envisioning this. You're sitting there, and then the curtains open on the stage. What are the curtains opening up to? What?
Me, myself.
Yes. What the curtains are opening up to are the thoughts that are going on in your mind. All you're doing is watching your thoughts. That's it. You're not judging them. I shouldn't be thinking that. I shouldn't be feeling that. Why am I feeling that? What's wrong with me? Right? I shouldn't. No, there's no judgment of anything that you're seeing on the screen. Nothing on the stage. Nothing. You are a watcher. That's all you are. You're just sitting there and watching. And all of a sudden these thoughts come out. You have this thought and that thought. I'm a loser. I don't know how to make money. I'm never going to get married. I'm this. I'm that. You're feeling things. Just see it. Just see it. It's such a powerful exercise to do. It's unreal. Now the thing is that you have to do it for a while. You have to go in there for a while. Because you're sitting at first and it's going to be all these like weird things in the beginning. Okay? And then it's going to go deeper and deeper. And somehow, after you do this for about an hour, okay, I know it sounds like a lot. And I'm the last person in the world that can do these things. You don't understand. I have like so much energy. I can't deal with like all these like, till like not long ago, meditation was just like, I'll do anything else. Anything. No, I can't do this. Like quiet and like, I need to just do things, right? Somehow when you do this, the time goes by really absurdly quickly. Okay? Even if you do it for 15 minutes and you put your phone on airplane mode and you close your eyes and you put an alarm for 15, 20 minutes, you will see how afterwards you feel a lot more balanced. You feel a lot more okay. You don't feel so, I want to jump out of my skin, let me run into the streets, let me do something, let me go somewhere, let me get rid of this emotion. You're actually allowing the emotion to come out. And what happens to emotions when you don't, what happens when you run away from emotions?
It's a boomerang.
Don't you have all the answers tonight? Yes?
You can't really run away.
What?
You can't really run away.
What happens when you run away from your emotions? Yes, you can. What happens?
And then they explode.
They come out later.
They run after you.
Yeah, they build it in an unhealthy way.
They don't build it in an unhealthy way. They create wounds. They create ulcers. Real ones. Capiche? Okay? So this is like the work of our life. This is like the work. This is the work. Okay? So do this. It's knee-jerk reaction to run out. Of course you're gonna run to Dunkin' Donuts and get whatever. And of course, duh, who's not gonna? That's how we're programmed, for goodness sakes. But when you do this, when you give your emotions a stage, oh, emotions, you want to kill somebody right now? I won't judge you. Here's a stage. Go for it. When you give them a stage and you're just an innocent onlooker. That's all you're doing. You're keeping your mouth shut and you're just looking. What you're allowing to happen is you're allowing them to have space and you're just allowing them. And what happens when you allow them is that they come and then they go and they don't linger. And what happens when they don't linger is that the texts here say you can literally eat rusty nails and you will live to 120. You can literally eat rusty nails and you will live to 120. Now, here's the next formula. Okay, that's point number 2. Point number 3, running through this, and this is like really, really powerful. Listen to this. Listen to this. We know the language of our soul. I mean, we're learning the language of our soul. We don't know nothing. Okay? We're basically trying to get the language of our soul, the ABCs. Now we're moving into a drop, the food. The food. The food. What's nourishing for my soul? What is nourishing for my nefesh? What is nourishing for my nefesh? Listen to this. The nefesh thrives. The nefesh thrives when the nefesh has a voice. Okay? That's why people pleasers, if you've noticed, people pleasers, they're the first ones to get sick. You've noticed that? People pleasers are always the first ones to get sick. Okay, now that you know that, go look around with people that you know that are people pleasers and you'll see. They have inflammation problems, they have joint problems, usually joint inflammation and cancer. A people pleaser is, ask me to go out with you. Ask me. My nefesh says, I have to go home, my mother's waiting for me, I have to go help them, but, what's your name?
Ben.
I really like Ben, and I want to hang out with Ben, but I really need to like go home and I have to study and I have to wake up really, really early, and it's probably going to be really bad for me if I, but look, Ben is asking me, and if I don't go out with him, he's going to think that I'm like being mean, and he's probably never going to ask me again. So like I have to do this now because like I want to, but I know that if I say no, he's gonna think I'm a snob. So like, okay, sure, where are we going? Yeah. What time? 3 o'clock in the morning? You understand? Okay. Sure. Oh, you can't drive me home? Oh, I'll have to walk? Sure, thanks. That's a people pleaser. Because I don't want to lose you. I don't want to lose this opportunity, so therefore, I'm not going to listen to myself. I'm not going to listen to what's healthy for me and what's right for me in an effort not to lose you because I don't want you not to like me now. Okay? Having to always do for people in order for everyone to say, she's a good one. He's a good guy. Okay? That's a people pleaser. They're the first ones to go. They could be like juicing and all of that, and they're the first ones to go. They're the first ones to get sick.
Well, what are you saying? It's not genuine? I'm not understanding. Because it's a fine line between doing something good for someone. I'm trying to understand.
She's saying that you're ignoring yourself. You're literally telling yourself, you be quiet, I need to do this.
You're not listening to your nefesh. When you don't listen to your nefesh, it'll come back with vengeance. You get it? Your nefesh is not going anywhere. Your nefesh is you for all of eternity. All of eternity. You drop your body off here at the last stop, and then you continue with your nefesh. So whatever you're building in your nefesh, and whatever you're giving your nefesh, and whatever you're investing in your nefesh, that's what you are for all of eternity. So if your nefesh tells you, right now, you cannot work, right now, you need to go outside into nature, you need to take a walk, you need to take a friend, you need to go and give a friend a hug, you need to do something else. Okay, you need to pray, you need to meditate, you need to do something for me, and you say, no, I have to work, I have to go to the office, I have to do this, I have to do that, all right? And you do that day in, day out, or you're people pleasing, right? Or you're doing things that are against really what you want, you make yourself sick. Because the nefesh gets wounded. The nefesh gets wounded.
It means like an obsession, like someone that's doing all the time, not doing anything for themselves. That's what you mean?
It's
choosing other people.
Sacrificing your well-being.
Making other
sacrificing
people happy
your
at the
well-being.
expense of yourself.
Yeah.
Now look, we're living in a world where it's like eat aspartame 24/7 as long as you don't eat sugar. But aspartame is cancerous. Aspartame kills rats. Aspartame is rat poisoning. Aspartame creates cancerous cells. It deforms cells. So it doesn't matter. Eat it anyway. Drink it in your Coke and drink it in your thing and eat it in your sugar. Why? Because the most important thing is to be skinny. And then you won't gain weight, which is a lie. Okay, but it's a lie that we're sold on. You understand? So the message is constantly being given to us. Constantly the message is, don't listen to self, follow the herd. Don't listen to self, be successful. Okay? So the next point that we're going to make right now, which is so wow, when I learned this, I was just like, wow, this changed my life, is that the food of the nefesh, the number one most nourishing, the wheatgrass for the soul, okay, is coming out of comfort zones. Now, coming out of comfort zones, listen to me for a second, okay, because we live in like a black and white world. We live in a very extreme world. So now I understand that the food for my nefesh is what is going to give me vitality and health and energy, and it's going to make me creative and such a functional adult and like really out there and on top of my game. So I'm going to be totally coming out of my comfort zones. And what happens is that we wake up in the morning and then we decide to go exercise and we've never exercised. We're going to go exercise, we're going to come back, we're going to juice, and we're going to be so nice to everyone, and then we're going to go to sleep on time, and we're going to journal, and we're going to meditate, and how long is that going to last? Yeah. Maybe a day. Maybe if you don't get through half the day and then you're just like, bye. Right? You check out. Right? Because we live in that kind of world where it's like black and white. So, coming out of comfort zones, when I say coming out of comfort zones, it's like this. When our nefesh feels that we are separating ourselves from something that we've been in for a very, very long time, it's almost like opening the window to a very, 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 very stuffy room. You know that feeling? When you open that window and it's hot, 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 and you open that window and you get that cold breeze and everything, you're like, ah, feels so good? That's what the nefesh feels. And literally, you feel it right away. You feel the effects of that right away. Coming out of comfort zone, let's say, for example, you go to sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning every night because you love your nights. But you also have to wake up at 6, and you're exhausted in the morning. You're just exhausted, and you have to go through like 4 cups of coffee in order to get somewhat awake. So coming out of comfort zone is telling yourself, I'm going to go to sleep at 1:45. At 1:45. That's it. Coming out of comfort zone is, I'm a chain smoker. I'm going to smoke 1 less today. 1. Coming out of comfort zone is, I'm going to take 1 more sip of water. Coming out of comfort zone is, I don't eat this. This is what I eat every single day. I'm going to have 1 more vitamin. Just 1 vitamin in my day. Not black and white. What happens to the nefesh when we're able to do those kind of things? When we're able to start moving in directions that we're not used to moving in. It's not who we are. It's not what we do. And we start doing that. Something that's hard for you. It's hard for you to smile at people. It's hard for you to smile at someone? Hi. Coffee, please. Thank you. Do it. Do it. Do it. Anything that's difficult for you, slight, something, do one thing every day that scares you just a little bit. Either that scares you just a little bit, or that's uncomfortable for you just a little bit. Get used to being uncomfortable. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. When we get comfortable being uncomfortable, what happens to our nefesh is that we start to breathe. We start to experience self. You don't know yourself. You don't know what you're capable of. You don't know what kind of life you can have in this world. And you also don't know when you're getting off this train. So these habits that we formed our entire life, they're holding us hostage. Hostage. So here's the thing. Anything that you do that's a little bit hard for you, is opening up that window and allowing that air to come in. And you will feel it right away. It's all selfish. You understand? All this is selfish, right? It's you learning how to feel better. It's you learning how to produce more. It's you learning how to interact better. It's you learning your higher self. It's you not feeling awkward, insignificant, like a loser, like measuring your worth based on what you've done. You get that? So there's this, my Rav Yuval Shalov was saying over how his student was telling him, Rabbi, something crazy happened. I've been trying to stop smoking for 2 years, and every single time I tried to stop smoking for a few days, and then I went back. Tried to stop smoking a few days, went back. A few days, went back. It's crazy. And then this miracle happened. I was like, what happened? And she said she was sitting on her porch one morning about to roll a cigarette, and all of a sudden, there's this guy walking underneath her apartment, smoking a cigarette. And she said something happened in that moment when she smelled it, when she smelled the smoke and him. It just so put her off that since then she can't smoke. And she's like, and it's been a long time. I don't get it. I tried stopping to smoke so many times and it didn't work. And all of a sudden somebody walks by me and I can't pick up a cigarette anymore. What happened? It's like a miracle. He said it's not a miracle. That's how our nefesh works. How does our nefesh work? You have a habit. You're connected to your habit like this. Like this. You're a smoker, okay? Let's just take that for example. Okay? This is what, you need your sugar. You need your coffee. You need you can't not be on your phone on Shabbos. Okay? You can't not be on your phone on Shabbos. You have to. This is where you are. You know that it's good for you to keep Shabbat. You know that it's healthy for your soul. You know that it's good for you to meditate. You know that it's good for you to drink green juice. You know that it's good for you to go on a walk. You know that it's good for you to get a different job. But you're stuck. You're here. Comfort zone. It's serving you in some way. It's serving you. Even if it's abusive to you, it's serving you. What happens Every single time you try for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes to come out of your comfort zone. She tried a few times to quit smoking over 2 years. So what happens is that she made a little space. She made a little space between her and her addiction. She made a little space between what she thought she'll never be able to do and accomplish and what she pushed herself a little bit to do. So you go to the gym or you go on a walk or you do anything like that, and what happens is that you make a little space. You make a little space. And after a while, it falls away from you, the habit. After a while, what used to be like, I cannot live without this, all of a sudden you look back 2 years from now and you say, I don't even remember what that felt like. It's so like I still don't need it. It's so not me anymore because you've evolved, because you've changed. That's the beauty of coming out of comfort zone. Where before you couldn't even crack a smile to anyone because you felt so whatever. You try to do it, you try to do it, you try to do it. It's not about doing it 100% right now. It's about just trying. The actual trying creates a space. And now the nefesh feels that space. You feel that space. I can't keep Shabbos, so keep one Shabbos. So keep Friday night, so keep an hour on Friday night. So don't use your phone for an hour on Friday night. 1 hour. 1 hour, you are Orthodox. Friday night. You are like so Haredi in that 1 hour. 1 hour. Do an hour. But what happens is that we're so like all or nothing that we're like, well, what's an hour? Come on. But no, it's doing something. It's doing. I promise you, it's doing. What's it doing? It's making a separation. It's giving air. It's making a separation. You are shifting. You are shifting. You are shifting. All of a sudden, you turn around and you're like, who was that in that picture a year ago? Before I did an Abdolach and after I did an Abdolach, I remember looking at pictures from before I did an Abdolach and before I worked the steps, and I couldn't even recognize myself in the pictures. I was like, I remember feeling what I felt in those pictures. I remember looking at those pictures. I remember being in those pictures and then by that pond with my kids and whatever, in New York and whatever. And remembering what I'm thinking in my head, remembering that moment and being like, oh my gosh, I was like a different human. And all I had to do is just do a few different kinds of steps. Not earth-shattering work, not back-breaking labor, just doing a few different things. Pulling myself out of toxic relationships, being kind to myself in what I say to myself and the way I talk to myself and the way I speak to myself. Not putting myself down anymore, not telling myself I'm stupid or I don't do enough or whatever. And when I do fall into bad positions of worry and all that stuff, what I do in that moment is I let myself feel. And then I allow the feeling to move. And if the feeling doesn't move, I move. If the feeling doesn't move, you move. Stop injuring yourself. And the fourth thing is slight coming out of comfort zone. I had it the other day. 2 days ago, I met with someone, and after our meeting, I was walking by this center in Jerusalem, and I walk by the center every single time I go home. I'm always walking by this center. This is like, it's like the OU center in like Jerusalem, and I live right there, right by the OU center. And ever since I moved into the apartment and the OU center was around the corner from my house, I was always like, I should really go in there and tell them, hi, I teach. Here's like what I teach. Like they're always having classes there. Like I would love to teach by them. But every single time I walked by them, I was like, nah. Like I always felt like not like what, you know how it is. It's like cold calling, right? It's like you don't know what kind of response you're gonna get. So like, just forget it. And after I had this meeting of me telling this person like, come out of your comfort zone, come out of your comfort zone, come out of your comfort zone. You have to come out of your comfort zone. This is how we're going to do it. This is how we're going to work it. Okay, these are the steps. This is what you're going to do. This is your challenge for the week. I walk by the OU Center. And when I walked by the OU Center, I almost walked by it. And then I said, Deborah, you can't be a hypocrite like that. You have to put your money where your mouth is. And I walked into the OU Center. And like awkwardly and sheepishly, I said to the lady, to the secretary, and I'm like, hi, what's your name? She's like, Esther. Hi, Esther. So my name is Devorah. I did this whole like pitch, and she's like, I'm just the secretary. You have to speak. She's like, you have to repeat your whole spiel to the guy downstairs. I was like, and like it felt the itchy, thank you. It was so embarrassed. And the security guard that was sitting next to her was like looking at me like, bye. And then I did it over again, and it was uncomfortable, and it was like didn't feel right. But when I walked out, regardless of whatever will happen with that, I still made a change in myself. I came out of my comfort zone, which was I don't want to put myself in that position, and I put myself in that position. You get it? Good. So we're going to end here, and we're just going to recap and remember. Okay? We're going to recap and remember that you can detox, let's say, right? And detoxing is never fun. It's always hard. But the cool part about the whole thing now, if you look at it from another angle, is that I'm trying to clear out my body by drinking and eating and taking these vitamins. I'm trying to do that. But really what I'm doing is that when I'm avoiding, let's say my coffee, and I'm avoiding my pizza, and I'm avoiding the things that I normally do, what I'm doing is I'm making a separation between me and my eating habits, me and my comforts. When I make that separation between me and my comforts, I can do a detox, or I can do any other thing that's a challenge for me. Okay? But really when I'm detoxing, I'm really trying to heal my body. Really what I'm doing is healing my nefesh, and by healing my nefesh, I'm healing my body. You get it? People think I'll drink this and this will make me healthy. Yeah, nothing is making you healthy. Nothing that you're drinking is making you healthy. Health is something that we have inborn. The only thing that we can do is sabotage it, like we learned in our last class. Right? So the drinking this as opposed to drinking the shots in the bar, okay, with drinking the green shots, what it's doing to me, it's so against my grain, it's so not in my nature, it's so opposite to what I am. When I'm doing that, I'm coming out of my comfort zone, I'm literally healing my nefesh. I'm giving air to my nefesh, and that heals my body. You get it? That heals my body. So what happens to a person that's drinking all this stuff and working out and exercising and meditating and all of that stuff, and then they die when they're 50 and had a heart attack? Is that they never came out of their comfort zone, because that was their comfort zone. Their comfort zone was the vegan food. Their comfort zone was the working out. Their comfort zone was juicing. Their comfort zone, coming out of their comfort zone, was maybe, yes, going to a social event, because they're so uncomfortable being social. They had to put themselves in a social event. Maybe, yes, going to a bar and drinking drinks with a friend, and not green ones, because that was outside of their comfort zone. Understand? That is the formula, my friends. That's the equation. The equation is, it doesn't mean that there's one right and one wrong. The guy that's eating the pizza is wrong, and the guy that's drinking the juice is right. Depends where they are in their nefesh. Sometimes the guy needs to eat the pizza in order to make his nefesh happier, because he'll be surrounded by people and he'll be in a different environment and he'll feel more alive, and that's going to give him more health than any green juice or any tournament or any whatever in the world. Anything. Any questions? Yeah, all good. You're all going to the bar next door. Yeah. You all look like...
You were saying about listening to our nefesh, if we don't want to go to work, sometimes we have to go to work. Just like situations where you have to do things against you.
So make sure to give yourself later. Make sure to give yourself something later. Make sure to do something for yourself that's good for you, that's kind to you. Be kind to you.
I'm happy because I already do that.
Good. Good. Now you have to move into the place of comfort zones. Okay? Yes. Sure.
So what you're saying is that you give yourself a space, enough space to break the habit, even if it's a small space. But the important is to give space for you to break that habit, or for you to move out of your comfort zone.
Yeah. Meaning, the more you move into a place where it's a little challenging for you, you're a little fearful, you're facing your fears, like I did with the OU Center, okay? Or doing something that's a little bit like awkward for you or not comfortable for you. You're creating a space between you and your habit, okay? You and your habit. And when that happens, the more space you create, the more you allow yourself to move away from that, okay? It doesn't mean that it's all or nothing. You don't have to stop smoking overnight. Let's be realistic. We're humans, okay? You don't have to stop being addicted to whatever it is that you're addicted to overnight. But cut it off by 5 minutes before it's over, or whatever it is. Create some kind of uncomfort. Don't go full on into all don't fully into the addiction, fully into the comfort. Create some kind of unease. Park your car 3 blocks away and walk for 3 blocks. Don't be all comfortable all the time. The comfort is what keeps us stuck. And that the comforts is what we're manifesting all the time. Like you're getting the same stuff because you're being the same person.
These insanity is like doing the same thing over and over again and expecting the same result.
Different results.
Different result.
Yeah, exactly. And being the same person every single day, doing the same thing every single day, and saying, why is my life like this? Why is my life like this? Why has it been like this for the past 10 years?
It reminds me of this.
Yes, exactly. Alright, so who's coming to my house in Yerushalayim? December 6th, we're having a Shabbaton in Jerusalem. It's going to be a beautiful one. It's going to be a very deep one, very spiritual one, very fun one. I'm not really helping to plan it. Rabbi Hill is doing all the planning. But I am going to be there, God willing. And I'm going to take you on some amazing, just really incredible walks there and show you different things. And how many of you have been to the Kotel tunnels? The Kotel tunnels? The underground tunnels?
I've been there. It's pretty nice.
Yes. So we'll if you guys are up for like an adventure and you can be up till 2 or 3 a.m., then we'll do some amazing stuff. Very deep, mystical, spiritual experience. So I hope you can come. Cool. Thank you. See you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. Hi everyone. Yes, we can have that.